Today we're going to compare the cat on a lacy base. One made by Atterbury after 1889 and one made by Westmoreland Glass, a reproduction made sometime in the 50s or later. Because these pieces are handmade and there's a lot of variables when making glass, the age of the mold, the temperature of the glass, even the time of day, the employee, what temperature the leer was at. There's just a lot of variables go into it, and a lot of things will vary. The angle, the loops on the base might be wider on some pieces than others. The position of the ears, when they come out of the mold, may be moved by the employee to make it put his own personal touch on it. There's just a lot of variables. I have to say, in this example, the fur on our little kitty and the whiskers and things are much more detailed. On this example, there's been a lot of wear on this mold. It's probably an older mold in its length of its life. They usually used them for around 10,000 pressings, and this guy looks like he might have been in 8,500 range based on the detail on his fur. I studied these for quite some time, and in my other video comparing the hand holding the dove, I pointed out the difference in base. They're about 1/8 of an inch in each direction different, but other than that they're very similar. And on these kitties, I went the whole way around measuring the details from the edge, and there's no variations except one place. On this one, the front paw has a little wee ledge between here and the edge of the top. On this one, it goes right to the edge of the top. There's no ledge there. You can't catch your fingernail on it. This one has a 30-second ledge on it. Ignore the eyes because you could get them with just about any eye you wanted. That one has blue eyes. This one has diamond eyes. A little scary there. I don't think I want to meet that cat. The glass is different naturally since they're two manufacturers. But the biggest difference that I could find admiring these two pieces is the end of the nose and the whisker area of the upper lip. On this one is wider on every dimension, every feature. It's a bigger nose. This guy, the nose is narrower and the mouth is narrower on all the features. Other than that, fur on the back of the ears, everything, all the little places where there's muscles and creases for the tail or legs, they're all very, very similar. I will have to say that this lid weighs probably 2 ounces more. It's a heavier lid. They left more glass on the inside of the mold, and the frame of the top is 1/4 of an inch, and on the other example where it meets the bowl is 3/16. That's a lot of difference whenever you go the whole way around as far as the mass of glass that's in the lid. The bottom on this one is a little bit larger than this one, and you may have already guessed that this one is the 1889 Atterbury and this one is the Westmoreland reproduction. And we can tell that because on the inside of the lid, when I flipped it over, you can see the patent date on the mold, August 9th, 1889. Nope, August 6th. That's what happens when you read it upside down. August 6th, 1889. The top of this mold is unmarked. but the bottom carries the WG hallmark in the center. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's there. As I pointed out before, this lacy edge is called by a lot of collectors as dancing sailors. You can see how this is a guy holding the hand of this guy, holding the hand of that guy, and they're all dancing. So a lot of people call that a dancing sailor. I don't know why they're sailors, maybe because of the little caps on top. But that's what it ends up being called. Now, one of the dangers of owning vintage or antique milk glass is stress cracks. I have one big one here on this base, and I have the same one on the other side. Now this base, the wall on it is thinner. As is the top on this Atterbury piece, has a thinner wall construction, 3/16 instead of the full 1/4 inch that the Westmoreland has, which allowed this to bow after it was made. See how my fingers, you can see my fingers under there? All the sides bowed in. I didn't get that on the Westmoreland. My particular Atterbury has a little nick out of its ear, has a small chip here, and the corners are all flea bit. It's well over 100 years old, so I can forgive that. But even the Westmoreland, which is probably 50 to 60 years younger, has some stress cracks. One right here runs the whole way out here on both sides, goes the whole way through. I'm not happy about that, but milk glass is extremely fragile to temperature change. Any kind of abuse, it really doesn't hold up too well. So that's a comparison of the Atterbury and the Westmoreland kitties. I have, as far as I know, one Atterbury and 4 Westmorelands. The 5th one is in blue, which he's a pretty cute guy. So that's a comparison of the two kitties. The original Atterbury from 1889 and the Westmoreland reproduction, which they did a fine job of reproducing a very popular item. I hope you enjoyed my video. I have other ones out there. Always fun to share milk glass with others. Happy hunting!